Welcome to Explorer Classroom. My name is Kip Hotman, and I'm so glad you are joining us today. Today, many of our viewers are celebrating Diwali, the Festival of Lights. To those celebrating, may your day be filled with joy and light. At National Geographic, we use the power of science, exploration, education, and storytelling to illuminate and protect the wonder of our world. Explorer Classroom connects students worldwide with our National Geographic Explorers for short lessons and time for your questions. This school year, each month will be organized around a specific theme. This October, Explorer Classroom will be exploring the importance of water conservation. Today, our explorer is Safa Fanaian. Safa is a researcher who studies urban rivers, which means rivers in cities where lots of people live. She knows rivers can be a wonderful thing in a city, providing transportation, beauty, and places for wildlife and work. Rivers can also come with risks, such as floods and pollution. Today, we'll hear how Safa works with organizations that work to protect rivers and the people who live by them. Before we get into today's lesson, I'd like to welcome our registered viewers who join us from around the globe. Special shout outs for today go to Castellar Elementary School, Cochrane Primary School, Higgins Middle School, Franklin School, St. Patrick's School, Sofia del Arte, and to all of our homeschools out there. We are thrilled to have you all here. And with that, let's get this Explorer Classroom started. It's time to turn it over to Safa to share all about urban rivers. Take it away, Safa.
Hello, hi. It's so lovely to be here today. I'm going to share my screen. And we have that. There we go. Do you guys see it? Perfect. So, what do you think an urban river is? An urban river is basically a river that flows through a city. It can be any city or town where these waters flow through it. And why did I become interested in urban rivers? Well, I grew up in a city in India. It's a city in the down south. It's called Hyderabad. It has about 8 million people in the city. So it's a very crowded city. And Hyderabad is in a drier place of India. So the water has always been a problem. Growing up, I was always reminded that there is water shortage. Everything that we did it to conserve water. We collected water, we stored water. Even when I brushed my teeth, you turned off the tap, because running water is wasted water. So you have to save it. Even now, when I hear water just flowing continuously, it stresses me out. I have to go turn a tap off somewhere. So this brought out my curiosity. It brought out this search on why is water scarce? What can we do to better manage it? What can we do to improve the lives of so many people who are dependent on this water? This next picture is a picture of a river that runs through my city of Hyderabad. Look at this river. What do you think when you see it? There's water flowing. There's a lot of greenery in the corner. There's some plastic in there. What do you think is the color of the water? Does it look clean? Would you swim in this river? That greenery might look pretty, but it's growing out there because there's so much of sewage in the river. It is not a healthy river. It is not a river in which I would ever swim because it's very dirty. But why did it become like this? It became like this because a lot of the urban waste, as the city grew, a lot of the waste from the city, the sewage, people threw stuff into the river. They stopped seeing the river and they just used it as a road to throw things in and to let things go out. Why are these rivers important? Why should we think and why should we see them? Why should we notice them? You see these two whales? Every hour, about 245 metric tons of plastic and waste flows from these small rivers into the oceans. And it is here, like you see this small river in the corner, the small stream is a river. And it is from these small streams that all of the plastic waste goes into the oceans and it pollutes the oceans. I'm sure many of you have seen pictures of a lot of waste in the river, in the oceans. There's like plastic. All of this, majority of this comes from these city and urban rivers. That's why it's so important for us to think about this, for us to think about and actually start noticing these rivers. These rivers also provide services, not only like how Kip had mentioned, not only are these rivers a source of transport or beauty, like you can see over here, it's a source of transport, but these rivers also support a lot of fish, a lot of plants, a lot of birds. So these urban rivers comes in a lot of shapes and sizes. Like you can see all of these 3 pictures, all of them are urban rivers in different cities. The one on the left side, the one that looks the dirtiest is one from India. The one that is in the middle, the ones that are being cleaned, it's in actually London. And the last one is in Oxford. It's one of the cleaner ones. So all of these rivers look different, but they all are so important. They provide water that comes in your taps. They provide entertainment, like you go and sit around there. So it's important to notice your urban river. What can you do now? What can you do to think more about how can you notice your river? How can you protect your river? One of the biggest things is, and I'm sure you've heard it in many places, is reduce plastic waste, plastic use. One of the biggest waste that goes into a lot of these urban rivers is plastic, like you had seen in that picture. Another thing you can do is find out more about this river that flows through the town or the city that you live in. So often we walk along this place, we walk along these flowing rivers and we stop noticing them because we've seen them so often. So walk along the river that is next to you. Find out its name. The river that was next to my house was named Musi River. Find out if that river delivers water to your city, because these rivers are also the source of water that comes in your taps. The water that comes in the tap has to come from somewhere. They come from these rivers. And if you want to go one step ahead, if you want to do more, find out if you can talk to your mayor or your council person about your river. What is being done to keep your river clean? How is the city and the river connected with each other? I'm sure you might have heard previously, there was another National Geographic Explorer, Jens, who spoke about this thing called the BioBlitz of National Geographic, is where you actually go near your river and find out what lives in your river. Are there wild animals around there? Are there fishes in your river? Learn more and you get more involved in your river. So basically, at the end of the day, I want to ask you to notice your river. Keep a lookout for it, because these rivers, they support the life. And that is why I study them. I study these urban rivers because I want to protect them. I want to do everything that I can to keep them alive, to keep them healthy, and so that they can support not only us who live in the city now, but also future generations can have access to these rivers. And it remains forever a pretty flowing river for everyone. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Safa. And thank you and shout out to all the students and teachers watching as well. We hope you all join many more of our events. Our next event for ages 4 to 8 will be on October 31st, Halloween Day. We'll join Explorer Meg Lohman to hear about discovering the 8th continent. You don't want to miss this one. So go ahead, register for this event and more at natgeoed.com/Explorer Classroom. You can request a chance to be featured on screen. And fellow teachers, we've also created a new interactive guide for you to share with your students to take them on a learning journey with each of our special guests. Find the Explorer Mindset in Action Guide and Teacher Edition linked on each event registration page, and look in the chat bar if you're on YouTube now for the link as well. Have a great day, everyone. Stay curious and keep exploring.
Thank you so much. Bye.